I don't think I have done any official gear review aside from the cameras, but I'm not going to count that. Maybe I have in the past. I've done 70 videos now, so I don't think I've done one, but what I want to talk about today in gear are shoes. The things on your feet that make forays out into the outdoors and out into beautiful areas possible. Before I get too far into discussion about these shoes, I wanted to just say that I'm doing this review, if you will, or evaluation, or I don't know what you want to call them on these YouTube channels. My thoughts, I'll call this video my thoughts on the Lems Primal Pursuit Mid shoes. How about that? Great pair of shoes in my opinion. I've had these shoes for 2 years now. Use them for everything from hiking to mountain biking to work. I've used them at work numerous times. They're great shoes to have on all the time. I'm talking about these shoes because when it comes to getting outside, it's important to have shoes that you want to have on. Why go out and put something on your feet, your first point of contact with the ground, that isn't going to work for you? It's going to not want to make you go out. You're going to want to cut your adventure short. You're going to not be thinking about what you want to be thinking about, which is the beauty all around you and the captures and what you want to photograph, and just being present in the moment, not thinking about what's on your feet. Alright, so before I get out there, out into my hike for the day, I'm actually going to take the shoes off so I can discuss some of my favorite features of these shoes with you. So I actually got to take them off. Kind of rainy and snowy today. It's high about 40. It snowed about an inch last night. Fairly pleasant outside still. So I think I'm going to use my bag here. My my Isle Royal National Park badge on there, my patch, pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is put my foot on that so it doesn't get wet. So this is the Lems Primal Pursuit Mid waterproof shoe. This is in their green juniper color. I don't know how well it's showing up for you guys, but it is like a green juniper color. So this is a mid, so it's cut up a little bit higher, a little bit more support up in the ankle. And it's a great shoe. So the first thing I want to talk about is the weight. They're fairly lightweight. I don't weigh my shoes on a scale. I'm not that particular. I just know that they're a decent weight for heading into the woods or working all day. And like I said, I've even used these mountain biking numerous times. They're perfect for so many things. But decent weight. Number two, style. Love the style. It's kind of unassuming. Nothing too fancy, nothing too loud. It has some nice accents right here. Just nice colorway, nothing too in your face. And on the bottom, I want to talk about tread next. On the bottom, the treads lasted quite a while. Pretty grippy. Not the grippiest tread I've ever used, but for the application I use them for in this area, northern Michigan, they work just fine. I don't have slick rocks or tons of wet roots to deal with, so the tread, sandy conditions, hard pack, a little bit of gravel, these tread designs that they use on the bottom and their soles work just fine for me. And up top, we have their lacing system. Lacing systems are important to me. And you want to talk about longevity after 2 years, you got to think about the way that the laces are attached through the eyelets here. And if you notice, it's all inside the leather here, so nothing can rip. There's no little straps where they go onto. There's nothing to rip. And once you get up higher where you really cinch it in there, up to your ankle, they're supported nice and thick, which is important to me too, because I've had shoes that cost quite a bit of money for work and for pleasure that have ripped up here after even 6 months, and that was really disappointing. But the Lems really thought through their design on this. The next thing I want to discuss that is a bit more controversial depending on who you ask in the shoe world, shoe doctors or whatever they call them, podiatrists, I don't know. Whoever those folks are, and just consumers, of course, because they're the ones that are wearing the shoes. There's quite a debate about the zero drop shoe thing, the more natural movement for the feet, not having a heel rise. So the zero drop shoes, such as this guy, are flat from the heel to the toe instead of most modern shoes for hiking having a slight heel raise. So what that does is it repositions your whole body structure from your ankles to your knees to your hips, up through your chest, into your shoulders, and into your neck, and up to your head, of course. A slight incline. Think of a set of high heels on anybody. That really messes with their posture, especially their knees and their lower back. These shoes are neutral. And another nice thing about these too is the wider toe box, which a lot of zero drop shoes rather, are adopting, and some non-zero drop shoes. Really let your toes splay out. Pretend these are my toes. So in a lot of shoes, you're kind of all crammed in with your toes. But these shoes, your toes can kind of splay out, which is what they're supposed to do. And of course, another thing that's important to mention in the shoes is durability. And again, I'm going to say this again because it's so important for what I'm trying to get across here. After having these shoes for 2 years, I can't find any structural defects in the toe box area. Typically after a year or so, numerous shoes I've had have had toe box issues with the glue coming undone somewhere, or cracking or whatever up in the rubber here. Nothing on these. They're still in prime shape. You know, the laces, these aren't the same laces that came on them, but the whole system's working well. There's no rips anywhere in the lacing system. In the back of the heel, there's no peeling off of the sole from the back of the heel here. Everything is still intact and in great shape. The tongue, being waterproof, it hasn't ripped off the inside of the shoe. Everything is still here. Even the Pursuit mid tag inside indicating the size and where they're made, that's even still there. Not that that matters much. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but it's important to bear in mind that I am in no way, shape, or form paid by Lems, reimbursed by them, sponsored by them. I'm not getting any compensation for the review of these shoes. This review is solely on me, no pun intended. I want to just get out there that, you know, a good pair of shoes is important to have, and if you're considering a good pair of shoes, the Lems should be high on your list. I don't think it's necessary to make this shoe review long-winded. It's pretty simple. The Lems Primal Pursuit Mids are a great shoe. They're durable, long-lasting, just like this barn behind me. Alright, no more rambling. Gonna head out with my Panasonic Lumix FX7 out into the hills to enjoy the morning. Thanks again. Take care. And of course, until next time, break for squirrels.